Good morning and welcome to the 2017 Brooklyn College Commencement. Before we begin, please take a moment to silence your cell phones and other electronic devices so that our graduates and guests can enjoy the ceremony uninterrupted. We invite you to share your commencement photos and videos by live posting them to Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter using the hashtag BCGrad2017. The Brooklyn College Class of 2017 will now begin to enter the arena. Please welcome the graduates from the Murray Koppelman School of Business, led by student Irvin Saitgazi. Irvin is graduating with a Bachelor of Science degree in accounting. Please welcome the graduates from the School of Education, led by student Shane Tucker Brown. Shane is graduating with a Master of Science in Education degree in Childhood Bilingual and Special Education. Please welcome the graduates from the School of Humanities and Social Sciences. Led by student Brittany Lorenzo. Brittany is graduating with a Master of Art degree in Political Science. Please welcome the graduates from the School of Natural and Behavioral Sciences. Led by student John Melendez. John is graduating with a Master of Art degree in psychology. Please welcome the graduates from the School of Visual, Media, and Performing Arts. Led by student Renisha Bartholomew. Renisha is graduating with a Bachelor of Arts degree in TV and Radio. Please welcome the graduates from the CUNY Baccalaureate Unique and Interdisciplinary Studies programs. Please welcome the faculty of Brooklyn College. Led by the Chair of Faculty Council, Dr. Yedidya Langsam. Dr. Langsam carries the official Brooklyn College mace, a symbol that represents the authority of the faculty of Brooklyn College. Please extend a warm welcome to the Brooklyn College class of 1967. They join us today in honor of their own 50th anniversary graduation. Each year, the 50th reunion class joins our commencement ceremonies to celebrate their achievements and to symbolize the enduring bond our alumni have with Brooklyn College. Graduates and honored guests, please stand as the Provost and Senior Vice President for Academic Affairs, William Tramontano, and Brooklyn College President Michelle J. Anderson enter the arena with the members of the Platform Party. Everyone, please be seated.
My journey through Brooklyn College was about persistence, about overcoming challenges.
I came to the United States in 2007, basically with no English, no friends, no family.
To go abroad studying has always been my dream. since I was a child.
Going away for college wasn't an option for me, so I had to find a school with a rich campus life you always see in the commercials, but right here in New York.
My father graduated from Brooklyn College and became a teacher, so I took his advice and I came here for my master's in school counseling.
Today, I'm graduating from Brooklyn College.
Je suis fière d'avoir gradué de Brooklyn College.
我好高興喺 Brooklyn College 度畢業。
Bin bereit für den nächsten Schritt.
زي ما سعشلي.
Mi arduo trabajo ha valido la pena.
Brooklyn College에서 졸업하게 돼서 자랑스럽습니다.
Moja rodzina będzie bardzo ze mnie dumna.
Oui, elle m'apprend tout.
我很荣幸能从布鲁克林大学毕业。
أنا مفتخر بإنجازات.
Brooklyn College benim evim.
Moja rodzina będzie bardzo ze mnie dumna.
My dad is the most inspirational person I know. He left Cuba at a young age, and I look at where he is now, and he's the CEO of his own company. And it really leaves big shoes for me to fill.
Honestly, it hasn't been easy, but the support that I was getting from the students and professors was just amazing.
Brooklyn College has helped me learn how to express my true self. Whenever I have critique with my professor and classmates, they guide me and help me find my own way.
We're in the center of all the media, financial district. We're like the hub for everything that you need. If you want to find an internship, you can find that right here in New York.
Also, the campus is absolutely beautiful. The library is like this specific landmark of Brooklyn College, and we have the beautiful garden.
My favorite aspect of the campus would probably be the koi pond, because I can sit out there on nice days and I can just read a book, do some homework with the trees in the springtime. It's incredible, I think.
I love the library cafe. You find everybody there. Like, some of you didn't see all day is going to be in there at some point during your time there.
We're all from different parts of the city. Some students come from all over the country to come here.
The diversity in the college is amazing.
If I have to choose a word to summarize my experience in Brooklyn College, that will be freedom. Here, I can do whatever I really want to do and make my own decision. My parents want me to be a dentist, but I follow my passion to make art.
Brooklyn College has shown me how to take what I know and be a role model to someone else. Working at the Magnet Center has also been really impactful on who I am today. What I really want to do is work with children and help shape them into people that are going to impact our world in the future.
I never thought I would graduate with honors or get an internship with Big Four and eventually get a full-time job. And I think Brooklyn College gave me that opportunity.
I know that when I leave this campus that I'll be a leader, an innovator, running my podcast and making my broadcasting dreams a reality. Brooklyn College paved the way to my success.
So after I graduate, I'll begin working full-time for JPMorgan Chase as an infrastructure engineer in global technology. And I'm really proud of where I am right now.
One word to sum up my experience here at Brooklyn College is unforgettable.
My idea of the American dream is being able to work as hard as you can, put everything you have into what you're doing, and making it to the top.
Please welcome Akila Etienne, a student in the Brooklyn College Conservatory of Music, class of 2017, who will perform the national anthem. Please rise.
stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight. O'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the brave and the home of the brave.
Please be seated. Thank you. Good morning, everyone. I am Lillian O'Reilly, the Vice President of Enrollment Management at Brooklyn College, and I am delighted to be the first person to welcome you to the 92nd commencement ceremony of Brooklyn College, held here for the first time at Barclays Center. I would like to thank Akila for her wonderful performance of the national anthem. Yay, give it up for it. And would also like to thank the members of the Brooklyn College Brass Ensemble, led by Professor Andrew Madej from the Brooklyn College Conservatory of Music. On this joyful day, we celebrate the conferral of 2,957 baccalaureate degrees and 1,081 master's degrees. We also have 66 students receiving advanced certificates. In all, over 4,100 graduates make up the class of 2017. These graduates are extremely diverse. They come from 101 countries from around the world, and they speak 61 languages. We want to recognize the 38 veterans and service members in this year's graduating class. Among them is Mr. Jose Garcia, who served in the United States Army for 4 years and will be graduating today with a Master of Science degree in kinesiology. Will all veterans and service members please rise and be recognized? Today is an auspicious day for all our candidates for graduation. It is also a very special day for Brooklyn College. We begin our ceremony with the official investiture of the new president of our college. The presidential investiture is an academic ceremony that has symbolized the pursuit of knowledge since the Middle Ages. It confers the authority and symbols of the leadership of the college, and it is often held during a new president's first graduation ceremony. Will the University of New York Executive Vice Chancellor and University Provost Vita Rabinowitz and City University of New York Trustee Una Clark please come to the podium?
Graduates and honored guests, it is my privilege to present to you Michelle Anderson for investiture as the 10th president of Brooklyn College. Ms. Anderson's extensive and outstanding background in the law has prepared her well for this position. An outstanding scholar, a top-ranked professor, an advocate for social justice, and a long-serving, superb academic leader has prepared her for this position. She is ready and eager to steward and advance the mission of Brooklyn College, and we are confident that she will take the college to even greater heights.
Michelle Anderson, by the authority vested in me as a member of the Board of Trustees for the City University of New York, and on behalf of the Board of Trustees, I hereby confer on you the office of President of Brooklyn College with all rights, privileges, and responsibilities pertain thereto. As a symbol thereof, you now have your President's medallion charging you to fulfill all the obligations of the office of the President of the great institution called Brooklyn College.
Candidates for graduation, distinguished guests, faculty and staff, and family and friends of Brooklyn College, good morning to you. I want to thank Executive Vice Chancellor Rabinowitz and Trustee Clark. I am honored and privileged to serve as the 10th president of Brooklyn College and to advance the important mission of the City University of New York. Brooklyn College was founded in 1930. Throughout its history, the college has welcomed students who have been excluded elsewhere, including those who are first in their families to attend college. Those from working class backgrounds and immigrants from around the globe. Today, Brooklyn College is one of the most richly diverse academic communities in the world, where students of many races, religions, and nationalities study and learn in peace. We are a richer academic community because of our diversity. Our students learn to engage with difference and complexity, which makes them interculturally competent and willing to assume challenging positions of leadership in a diverse world. We believe this is one of the goals of higher education, to make us stronger citizens in this way, better able to participate in the democratic process and to defend our constitutional order. The great Shirley Chisholm is one example. Perhaps you've heard of her. Born in 1924 to parents from the Caribbean, her father was a laborer, her mother a seamstress. She attended Brooklyn College and went on to be a teacher an expert on child welfare, and a New York State Assembly member, where she sponsored the legislation to establish the SEEK program, which allows disadvantaged students to attend college. Chisholm then became the first Black woman elected to the United States Congress, where she worked to expand food stamps and funding for child care. And in 1972, she became the first Black Democratic Party candidate for President of the United States. Now, Chisholm's life story says so much about Brooklyn College and its students. She was the child of immigrants who came to this country to give her daughter more opportunities than they had. She was hardworking, remarkable, and she accomplished more than what anyone thought possible. The Brooklyn College candidates for graduation today in front of us are the hardworking, remarkable, and striving students that Shirley Chisholm once was. They are expanding the realm of what is possible in their lives and in the lives of their families and communities through the transformative power of higher education. Now, we know they didn't do it alone. They did it with the help of family and friends. And I want the families of these graduates to stand and be recognized. Graduates, these graduates also did it with the help of an outstanding faculty at Brooklyn College. Would the faculty please stand? Now, everyone, please join me in saying to the graduates, congratulations and a job well done. I'd now like to introduce to you the Provost and Senior Vice President for Academic Affairs at Brooklyn College, Dr. William Tremontano.
Thank you, President Anderson. Good morning, graduates, class of Brooklyn College 2017. I begin with the distinct pleasure of being able to acknowledge our student government presidents, Florencia Salinas Camuti, President of CLAS Student Government, Moshe Norowitz, President of SGS Student Government, and Omari Williams, President of the Graduate Student Organizations. Will they please rise and be recognized? I would also now like to acknowledge and welcome the class of 1967, our golden anniversary class. We are so proud of you. We are grateful for your devotion to your alma mater. Would you please rise and be recognized? And now I have the distinct pleasure and privilege to welcome the senior senator from the state of New York and our Senate Minority Leader, the Honorable Charles E. Chuck Schumer.
Thank you, and it is a great day today. It's my honor to address your great new president, who's done a terrific job her first year, the members of the platform, the friends and families of the graduates, but most of all, you, the class of 2017 Brooklyn College. Now, first, I'd like to announce my class gift. As you know, it's hard to pay for college and graduate school. If you're poor, the federal government helps you out. That's a good thing. But what about the middle class? So a few years ago, I wrote a law that said you or your parents, whoever paid for college or graduate school, can take as a full tax credit $2,500 off your federal taxes to help defray the cost of tuition, provided, in Washington there's always a provided your family income is below $200,000 a year. So, for those of you who come from families that make below $200,000, make sure you or mom or dad takes that credit. Last year, about a quarter of all the people who were entitled forgot, because it's relatively new. If you happen to forget, you can file a simple form with the IRS and get up to $7,500 back in the mail. Not bad. Now, what happens if you come from a family that makes above $200,000 a year? God bless you. I'd like to make two acknowledgments. One, to a fellow alum of Madison High School who went to Madison. He was on the track team. They won the city championship. I played basketball. We weren't that good. Our team's motto was, "We may be small, but we're slow." But he's a great senator and a great leader, and we're all honored to have him here, Bernie Sanders. Second, an acknowledgement to the moms and dads, appropriately done by our president. I know how you feel. A few short years ago, my wife Iris and I sat and watched our daughter graduate. And if you're like us, you think to the tough times. It's not easy raising kids. We remembered when Jessica was 6 months old, we rushed her to the hospital. She had 106.5 fever. We didn't think she'd make it. Praise God she did. We remembered when we put her on the kindergarten bus for the first time, and as the bus pulled away, she ran to the back of the bus, waved goodbye, tears streaming down her little cheeks. But when Iris went to meet her when the bus returned at 2 o'clock, she bounded off the bus happy as could be. She said, "Mommy, I came back." When we talked to her that night, we realized what was going on in her little head. She thought that was it. New family, new house, new parents, new room, new neighborhood. Then we remembered Jessie as a teenager, when she didn't say much to us. And when she did, we didn't understand a word she said. And then, moms, dads, you see your sons and daughters get that diploma and become an adult before your very eyes. Congratulations to the moms and dads. Now, to this great class of Brooklyn College, Brooklyn, what a great institution it is, of 2017. You know, you're graduating at a time of enormous change across the country and around the world. It's an era of profound economic change, profound social change. The world's moving very, very fast. In the old days, you graduated from college, and the odds were pretty high you'd have the same job or at least work in the same field for the next 40 years. Not so true anymore. Many of you will have several jobs, several careers. Along with these economic changes, the internet has put so much information at your fingertips, it's sometimes hard to figure out what's important and to distinguish what's true and what isn't. And even around the world, there have been such great changes. A generation ago, the words terrorism and suicide bombing were unheard of. But the good news is this: your generation is perhaps better equipped than any generation that came before it to adapt to these changes, to overcome the obstacles they present, and seize the opportunities they afford, to pursue your passion and maybe even accomplish big things. But right now, sitting in your seats, you may not be exactly sure of what's coming next. With so much of the world changing, it's understandable that you sometimes feel like you're jumping into an abyss. But the key is not to fear the unknown. Embrace it. Relish it. Soak up every possibility it has to offer. Now, how do I know? Because I had the same feelings when I was at graduation from college decades ago. When I was seated at graduation, I had just learned that I had won a scholarship to travel all around the world, all expenses paid, for a whole year. For me, it was the opportunity of a lifetime. I had never been out of the country before. But at the same time, I had met a girl, and I fell in love. Aww. Class, I had to decide. Do I go around the world for a whole year on the all-expense-paid scholarship? Or do I stay home with the girl, my first true love? Class of 2017, what would you have done? Madam President, the class is divided. I stayed home with the girl. Don't clap yet, you romantics in the corner over there. The story unfolds. That summer, she went on a brief vacation, and I went to the airport to meet her on her return. As soon as she got off the plane, I saw by the look on her face something was wrong. She dumped me by Labor Day. There I was, no scholarship, no trip around the world, no girl. I said to myself, what a loser you are. You're never going to make anything of yourself. Give it up now. It's over. In fact, I hung out in my house for several months, moped around, feeling sorry for myself. But somehow I picked myself up, dusted myself off, and a few years later, I found myself seated at graduation once again, this time from law school. But on the way home from law school, I told Mom and Dad I was not going to join the fancy law firm like we had planned. I told them my love was politics. I wanted to run for office. My parents, as you can imagine, were shocked. You see, my mother was particularly disappointed. You see, I came from a working-class family. My father was an exterminator. He never went to college. The law firm was paying $400 a week. In those days, more money than my family had ever seen. But my dream was to run for office. And so that fall, against very long odds, I ran for the New York State Assembly, and I had 3 opponents. There was the party machine candidate. There was a neighborhood activist. And then there was my mother, who was telling all her friends not to vote for me. So as she said, I get this dumb idea of being a politician out of my big, thick head. Well, graduates, a few years earlier, I sure didn't get that girl, but that November, I won the election. So, to the graduates, on this day, this great day of your achievement, my advice to you is take the risk. Don't let the fear of failure deter you, even though the world is different, even though the world is changing. For those of us who have gotten older and look back, one of the most regretful things we face is the what-ifs. What if I had only done this? What if I had only done that? So my advice to the class of 2017 is very simple. Go for it. You've got great assets, an education at one of the greatest institutions of higher learning, not only in New York, but in the country, families that will have your backs through thick and thin. So garner up your courage, garner up your strength, put aside your doubts, and take a chance. And if you do, it is my hope, it is my prayer, and indeed it is my confidence you will find true success and true joy. To this great class, Brooklyn 2017, congratulations. Good luck. Godspeed, and don't forget, go for it.
It is now my distinct pleasure and privilege to introduce to you the Honorable Letitia Tish James, the Public Advocate of the City of New York.
You started from the bottom, but now you're here. That quote is from a great philosopher known as Drake. I want to thank President Anderson for having me here today. I want to thank Provost William Tramontano, Senator Schumer, Councilmember Jamani Williams, and I want to start by acknowledging a great fellow Brooklynite and a progressive fighter. Can you feel the burn? Senator Bernie Sanders. And I want to recognize distinguished alumni Freddie Pecorelli and Trustee and my political mentor, Dr. Una Clark. Yes. But most importantly, I want to acknowledge all of the graduates here today. Congratulations, class of 2017. You're scholars. And as a proud CUNY alumni, I can tell you that the most important decision that I made in my life was to attend college. And you couldn't have picked a better place than Brooklyn College. And if you are looking to make a difference and leave a mark on our world, you couldn't have picked a better time than now. People around the country talk about the resistance. And in Brooklyn, we've long been the resistance. For years, this borough has stood for tolerance, has stood up and loudly proclaimed that immigrants and refugees are welcomed here. That diversity and inclusion are our strength and not our weakness. And that social justice, scholars, will propel you. And it will propel you by the power that now or that soon will be in your hands, and that is that college degree. You see, you will push forward and you will make our democracy better, because now is the time to defend democracy and to defend our values as a country. And this partnership between the collective and the individual will only work if we are committed to speaking up for more than just ourselves, that we are our brothers' keepers, our sisters' keepers, that all lives matter, and that includes Black lives. That women should be paid the same as men. And that a woman's right to choose is her own decision and no one else. So when you came to Brooklyn College, you didn't just learn about facts and figures and procedures and practices. You learned how to persevere through challenges, how to broaden your shoulders and get the most of your God-given ability, and how to benefit from your classmates sitting next to you. This is the power of education, the power to transform your life. And this is the power that must be used for common purpose as you take not just individual challenges, but also the challenges our society faces. Your education is a tool for empowerment, for love, and for justice, because we are at a critical fork in the road when it comes to the future of our country. One where the path we choose, the fights we fight, the passion we invoke, will determine so much of what is to come. And it is you, young people, you have always led the way. It is you, young people, armed with the power of your education, who will determine how the next few years unfold. You are no longer just representing yourselves. With your degree, you are standing up for others and for our shared values. And don't ever forget, no matter where you go in this country, when people ask you where you're from, you don't say you're from New York. You always say, I'm from Brooklyn. Brooklyn. So congratulations on all of your hard work and all that you have accomplished. And if there's one thing that you can take away from your time here at Brooklyn College, and one ideal that you take with you wherever your life may lead you outside of Brooklyn, let it be in the words of the great notorious B.I.G. Here we spread love the Brooklyn way. Congratulations!
And now I have the pleasure to welcome our Brooklyn Borough President, the Honorable Eric Adams.
Good morning, graduates. You have received a private school education in a public school facility thanks to the president of this school, President Anderson. This is special for me. Every time I go to a ceremony, it is the investment of my life. I spent 22 years of my life wearing a bulletproof vest, standing on these street corners, protecting the children and families as a member of the New York City Police Department, and I'm happy to see your continuation. Some years ago, when I was growing up in South Jamaica, Queens, a good friend of mine, David Saraski, had a fire at his home, and he came and stayed with my family. I remember David coming to me one day and he says, "Eric, would you like to go to Madison Square Garden to see the game?" And I said, "Of course. Who didn't want to see Willis Reed, Walt Frazier, Earl Pearl Monroe?" I got there with him to the garden, and when we walked in, there was no basketball court. It was only ice. It was a hockey game. I said, "David, what is this? Black folks don't like hockey." I sat in the stands, and I was afraid. I was the only black person in the arena. I was uncomfortable. The game started, and the people who were around me enjoyed the game, and I started to enjoy the game, watching people play. And it dawned on me that no one in the arena was concerned with the black person being there. There was no sign in front of Madison Square Garden that said "No blacks allowed." That was something I had in my head. I created that boundary based on what other people told me, not based on the reality. This is your hockey moment. Don't allow others to decide the life you're going to live. Get on the ice and enjoy the beauty of being a part of everything that you want to be a part of. No place does it better than Brooklyn. 47% of Brooklynites speak a language other than English at home. If you want to appreciate what this country has to offer, be a part of the diverse universe of the different ethnicities that we are part of. Visit a mosque, a synagogue, a Baptist church, a Buddhist temple. Learn different foods and different languages. If you stay among people who look like you, talk like you, walk like you, you are living a Shakespearean tragedy. Enjoy the beauty of diversity in everything you do. That's what this moment is about. If you want to be a global changer, then the people around you must be global. And then we must protect our hyphen. That's the dash that sits between our culture. Only in America are you allowed and encouraged to hold on to the diversity of the cultures that we have. African-American, Jewish-American, Caribbean-American, Polish-American. It's the hyphen that's our secret weapon. That's what makes us great as a country. We will out-Trump Trump and let him know that diversity is the ruling part of what America has to represent and what America's about. So let me tell you something, Brooklyn College. If you feel the burn, then it is your turn to get out there and make this country a great place to be. And not everybody's going to like you. You call them haters. Here's what you do. When you sit down at the table of success, have your haters become your waiters and let them know that you're here to stay and you're here to conquer. And I know some of the graduates are from other boroughs and locations. There are two types of Americans, those who live in Brooklyn and those who wish they could. Congratulations to you.
And now I would like to introduce to you a Brooklyn College alumnus, a member of the New York City Council, the Honorable Jumani Williams.
What's up, Brooklyn? Brooklyn, Brooklyn, Brooklyn. Where Brooklyn at? Where Brooklyn at? That was not grammatically correct. I know you know that because you're graduating here today. My name is Jumani Williams. I am a first-generation Brooklynite from parents who immigrated from Grenada. I'm a black man. I am America. Some of you may recognize me, some don't. Some are confused. I took a little haircut, but everything's all right. It's the same person, same fire inside. Just really quickly, I want to shout out a couple people. Katiana Bazil, Maria Khan, Abdelman Saleh, are former interns of mine. I want to give them a shout out for the great work they did in my office and for the city of New York. And Sabrina Guillaume, who was honored at a Woman of Distinction ceremony where she received an Emerging Leader Award. I know protocol has been established, so I just want to thank the President, Lillian O'Reilly, the Vice President, Una Clark, the trustees, all of the trustees, and William Tramontano, and everyone who was here today, particularly the graduates from Brooklyn College. Woo! And they combined it into two, so I only got to come here once. That's pretty cool. Last time I was on the stage, I was actually beatboxing with Dougie Fresh, if you can believe it. That was a couple years ago. And I am a proud Bernie delegate. I was one of the first elected officials to endorse Bernie Sanders. I see a lot of elected officials taking pictures with Bernie Sanders now, and I just wonder where they were at when it mattered. I'm sorry, that's another speech, my fault. I got my notes mixed up, I apologize. But I'm very, very proud to be here, and I'm proud to be here with Bernie Sanders. I endorsed him at Prospect Park in front of about 20,000 people. It was an amazing experience. This one is amazing as well, to see all the graduates, and not just the mothers and the fathers, but the friends, the aunts, the uncles, the grandmothers, everybody who's here to support and who made it happen for you. And I know there's a few people in here who are like me that had a couple classes left. We're trying to figure it out. It took me 7 years to get my undergrad and 4 years to get my grad. So for those people who are here, don't worry about it. I'm going to tell you what my father told me, rest his soul. Today is a day you celebrate. So just celebrate. Leave all that stuff behind. You're supposed to be here. Just 4 really quick lessons, I think, is a great example of what the Bernie Sanders run was. I think it's good for the country, definitely good for the party. Be who you are and who you say you are. I think the party I'm a part of suffered from not doing that, from not being who they said they were. And this man led the charge to be who you say you are. The second was stand up for what's right even when it's hard. There were a lot of elected officials I know who didn't endorse Bernie, and some of them actually believed in the other candidate. But some of them didn't endorse Bernie because it was hard politically. Some of them didn't endorse Bernie because of what was in it for them, not what was in it for the rest of the people. And because of that, the entire country suffered. So the lesson for me was stand up when it's right, even if it's hard, because everybody can suffer. You don't know the power that you have in your hand. The third lesson is something that unfortunately us grown-ups don't teach you, is you will lose sometime. You will lose sometimes. And it's only about what happens after that. Don't be afraid to lose.
Don't be afraid to step out. As I mentioned, it took me 7 years to get my BA. It took me 4 years to get my master's, and I'm still here, council member in the city of New York. And the last one is, what happens after you lose is the best experience ever. You grow, you learn. You can only get as high as your latest failure. So keep pushing forward. Bernie Sanders lost a race, but he won a country. Everybody wants to take pictures with this man now and what he stands for. Those are the lessons that I learned from Bernie Sanders' campaign. And I want you to learn them too, because it's important as you move forward. Now, I don't really know what this word progressive means anymore, because everybody and their mothers are progressive, including a governor who tells you he's giving you free tuition, but it's not really good for CUNY. That's another speech. I'm sorry about that. But I do know now, this is a quote, education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world. That comes from Nelson Mandela, who, by the way, was on the terrorist watch list in the United States till 2008. He needed special permission to get into this country. Don't make them revise history and what history is and about people who stand up. But that last question, and this is also for the young Republicans in the House. I don't want to leave you out because we're doing this all for you as well. That last lesson of learning from your mistakes is now up to you. You now have the privilege of education. You now have the privilege of that weapon. And we who are privileged must stand up, not just for ourselves, but for those who are not as privileged. As a man, I must speak up loud for women. As someone who is documented, I must speak up loud for those who are undocumented. As those who have education, you must stand up loud for those who may not have education but may be smarter than us and just haven't found their voice yet. So the lesson number 4, it's up to you now. Are we going to learn the lessons that we should have when this man ran? Are we going to make the same mistake again? It's up to the party. It's up to the country. Thank God it's up to the graduates of Brooklyn College. Peace out, everybody. Brooklyn!
Slight change in the program. Today we were supposed to have greetings from Robert Mojica, a trustee of the City University of New York, who regrettably was called back to duty in Albany. So at this time, I would like to welcome back to the podium one of the Board of Trustees of the City University of New York, the Honorable Dr. Una Clark.
For those of you who are from a country where they play cricket, today I'm a pinch hitter. But let me say how honored and privileged I am to be here with you. And since all protocol have been established for the platform, let me just say to the students, to the parents, to the families, those who were the support system for all of the students gathering here today and graduating, I thank you. But first of all, I just want to say to the graduates, if you have an accent like me, you know where me come from. So I didn't only come on my behalf, I came on behalf of your Congresswoman Yvette D. Clarke. So when I told you I was pinch hitting, I'm pinch hitting. So let me just say to you, you know what you got from Brooklyn College. Now you have an opportunity to show the world what you got from Brooklyn College. Your energy, your integrity, your ability. Whatever your major was, you may not end up doing what the major was. I was an early childhood major, a child development specialist. I ended up being a politician, and here I am paying backwards and forwards for all of what I have gotten in the United States of America. So to all of you who are immigrants, first and second generation, America has been good to us. And we need to be good to everybody. You are now the light of the world, and I want it to go out and shine. So to you, the family members, I thank you for the support that you've given, and these treasures are not just yours. This is our treasure, our children and our grandchildren, and we've got to make sure that their success is not just for today, but for the years to come. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Trustee Clark. Will you please join me in welcoming once again the Executive Vice Chancellor and University Provost of CUNY, Vida Rabinowitz, who will bring greetings to us from the Chancellor.
Thank you, Provost Tramontano, and congratulations, graduates, family, faculty, friends of Brooklyn College. I am pleased to bring the congratulations of Chancellor James B. Milligan, who couldn't be with you today. In my role in the Office of Academic Affairs at CUNY, I work closely with President Anderson and Provost Tramontano, and can't tell you how much I respect their commitment and leadership. I also want to say a word about Trustee Clark, who loves this borough and this college like nobody's business, and is a dedicated trustee of the City University of New York. Graduates, family, and friends, I am not going to take a lot of your time as I stand between talented politicians of New York and Brooklyn and one of the most popular men in the world, who will be speaking to you in a moment. But I do want to say how inspirational Brooklyn College is. Its faculty is one of the most outstanding faculty in all of the country. When the councilman said, or was it the borough president? It was the borough president who said, "You have received a private school education for the cost of a public school." He is right. And one of the reasons is the faculty of Brooklyn College. Graduates, can we give them all a hand right now, please? These faculty are scholars, citizens, mentors, and dedicated teachers. I want to say a word about the City University of New York. You are Brooklyn College. You are proud to be that. It is a legendary school. But you are also part of the nation's largest urban system, one of the largest public systems in the nation, the City University of New York. Because, as Senator Schumer said to you earlier, the future is different from the past and the present. You may change careers 7 times. Fortunately, you have been prepared by your faculty to be lifelong learners, to have developed a zest for lifelong learning. As you move through your career, stay connected with CUNY. We want to be the wind in your sails. If you find yourself in a position to offer internships, to give advice, if you want to take another degree, please remember that we are here. We are in all 5 boroughs. We are ubiquitous. We are an excellent system. Wonderful colleges, interconnected beautifully. So graduates, congratulations. Again, please feel a part of the City University of New York as well as a part of Brooklyn College. Have a brilliant future and keep us in mind. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Executive Vice Chancellor. I would now like to welcome to the podium the chair of the Brooklyn College Foundation, Edwin Ed Cohen, class of 1962, who will bring greetings on behalf of the Brooklyn College Foundation.
I'm going to try not to bore you at all, but 55 years ago, I sat out there, even longer than the gold rose that I see in front of me. Anything and everything is possible. This is one of the greatest institutions in the country, and I don't want any of you to feel as if you've gotten anything but a sterling education and that anything in your future is possible. I never thought I'd be able to sit in a place like this for the past 25 years as being a member of the Board of Trustees. I just want to bring you the best wishes and congratulations of the Brooklyn College Foundation and tell you a little bit about what we do. Each year we grant about $2 million in scholarships to over 1,400 students. A lot of you absolutely need that to be able to get through the rigors of your education. And I'm glad that we can provide this level of assistance to many of you sitting here in this room. I, too, am the son of an immigrant family, first one to go to college, all right? And I know what it feels like to the parents sitting up here and to everybody else in this room. We hope that in some way we will be able to contribute to your continued success in life. You've made that first start with today being the day of your graduation, and hopefully you'll be able to provide assistance to others in the future going down the road. When this college was dedicated over 80 years ago by Franklin Roosevelt, a name that I think most of you do know, he really wanted to instill that generations will keep this institution alive forever and ever. Best wishes to all of you, class of 2017. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ed, and thank you so much to all members of the Brooklyn College Foundation. I would now like to welcome to the podium a younger alumni, class of 92, 25 years out. Jeffrey Ziegler, class of 92, who will bring greetings on behalf of the Brooklyn College Alumni Association.
Thank you so much, Provost Tramontano, President Anderson, Deus guests, parents, families, friends, significant others, and especially the class of 2017. Brooklyn College, congratulations. I don't know what all of these cameras are for and who they came to see, but I came to see you, and I know your parents and your loved ones and babies, they came to see you as well. So give yourselves, you're the stars today, give yourselves a big round of applause. I don't know who everybody came to see today, but this is personal for me because my wife is graduating today with her master's in education leadership. I love you, Raquel. Great job. I don't know who you came to see today, but I came to see graduates who came back 50 years later. These golden robes deserve our attention and our praise. Let's give it up for the class in 1967, the Gold Robe. The Brooklyn College Alumni Association stands to bring alumni in contact with its alma mater, with the students and the faculty to help complete that mission. We also collaborated with Student Affairs for the coolest alumni pin in CUNY. Hopefully everybody got one today. On behalf of the Board of Directors of the Brooklyn College Alumni Association and over 130,000 alumni worldwide, we welcome the 4,000 of you who are graduating today into our family. But with that, you are called to be stewards of what you've been given. You're called to be active alumni. You're called to bring distinction in your fields of expertise. You're called also to bring honor to your alma mater. You're called to give your time. You're called to bring your talent back to this campus, as well as your treasure. It only takes a few of you to get together and actually make sure that the students who are just like you, who make a decision to come to school based upon how much is on their Metro card, to give back, to make sure students have Metro cards, to make sure students have goggles and lab coats, to do the work that you've accomplished. You now are called to pay it forward. So I challenge you to do that. And finally, I say to you, I have a cautionary tale. It's a brief story about what I think our world's problems are today and our nation's problems are today. A Brooklyn College education teaches you that you don't always get to choose who you work with. You don't always get to choose who you sit at the table with. But you do get to choose what it is that you want to do to solve people's problems. Because at the end of the day, if they're not solving your problems, they're just running their mouths. So I'm asking you, Brooklyn College graduates, to stand into this moment and take on the challenge. Your school motto is nothing without great effort. And it doesn't take great effort to only be around people who are like you. It takes great effort to sit down at the table with someone who doesn't look like you, someone who doesn't believe like you, and say, you know, the world's problems are bigger than our issues. Let's get it done together. So I have a cautionary tale for you. And the cautionary tale is called Whose Job Is It? This is a story about 4 people named Everybody, Somebody, Anybody, and Nobody. There was an important job to be done, and everybody was sure that somebody would do it. Anybody could have done it, but nobody did it. Somebody got angry about that because it was everybody's job. Everybody thought anybody could do it, but nobody realized that everybody wouldn't do it. It ended up that everybody blamed somebody when nobody did what anybody could have done. Graduates, 2017, don't look to the left, don't look to the right. Look straight ahead, knowing that you received a world-class education from this institution, and it has prepared you well for you to get the job done. Nothing without great effort, class of 2017. Congratulations and all the best in your future endeavors. Godspeed.
Thank you, Jeffrey. It's now my distinct privilege to introduce the Salutatorian of the class of 2017. His name is Michael Franco, and he's receiving a Bachelor of Science degree today in psychology with concentrations in biology, chemistry, and Judaic studies. He graduates summa cum laude. Following graduation, Michael will attend Downstate Medical School. Please welcome the Salutatorian.
About 100 years ago, a baby boy was born to a family of sharecroppers in the state of Georgia. By his first birthday, his father had abandoned the family. As a poor and fatherless young man, it is no wonder that he suffered through countless run-ins with the police and developed a criminal record. Life seemed hopeless, as though the cards were always stacked against him. Despite all of that, this young man radically changed the course of history. Because he refused to accept the labels that society slapped on him and chose instead to use his talents to chart the course of his own destiny, Jack Roosevelt Robinson went on to become a 6-time All-Star, earning the Major League Baseball Rookie of the Year award and the 1949 MVP award. Beyond changing the trajectory of his own life, Jackie managed to change the lives of others by forever breaking the color barrier in professional sports. Like Jackie, every single one of us has a unique divine spark. That means that every person is endowed with God-given strengths and talents specifically designed for them. The degree to which greatness is realized depends on our ability to recognize and utilize our personal gifts. Sometimes those gifts come strangely wrapped. We often have to peel off layers of struggles to discover a hidden treasure within ourselves. Without tremendous pressure, even a diamond would only be a lump of carbon. Talk about wasted potential. Imagine being presented with a wave could magically make all our hardships disappear. Would we wave it? As tempting as it may be, our answer should be no way. Because our lowest, most difficult hour, that time when we are most in despair, is the perfect time for change. The darker it gets, the harder it becomes to find help out there. We start to think we need a miracle or a superhero to bail us out. But here's the key. If we learn to direct our focus inward, we will realize that distress is an opportunity for us to become our own heroes. Do not wave that wand. Hardship is an opportunity to look deep inside ourselves and see what's been there all along. Our sparkling potential shining in the face of adversity like fireworks against the night sky. Those sparks are our calling. They are our innate gifts. Once we refine them, not only will we enlighten ourselves, but eventually we will brighten the whole world. There's a domino effect. Recognizing the blessings in our own lives allows us to also be a blessing in the lives of others. If there's one thing you gain out of this speech, one thing, let it be that our destiny is our choice, that what happens to us in our lives is not a product of the system, not a result of the limits others place upon us. We can't control how people treat us, but we can control how we react. Like extracting oil from the earth, our quality of life is a direct result of how deep we are willing to dig. Rather than think, I wasn't given what it takes, let's take what we were given and be great. Success is the greatest gift we could give ourselves. After 4 years at Brooklyn College, we all know what it means to work hard for our dreams. We've labored through countless courses, but we've also learned so many invaluable skills. We've deepened our understanding of the world. We've been inspired by brilliant professors, and we've formed many lasting and meaningful relationships. Now that we find ourselves at the crossroads of destiny, the precipice of the rest of our lives, I finally understand why the Brooklyn College slogan is Nil sin magno labore, nothing without great effort. Because here, we are all Jackie Robinsons. In order to survive, we must answer the most important of questions. What will we do to discover and unlock our hidden potential? What impact can we leave on the world? What unique contribution can we give that no one else on the planet can provide? Fortunate are we, the hungry ones who were taught to make dough. We are far better off than having had bread handed to us. Brooklyn College has given us the tools for success. As authors of the next chapters of our lives, let's write a bestseller. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Michael. I now have the honor of introducing today's recipient of the Distinguished Alumnus Award. Freddie Pecciarelli was born in Guatemala. His family fled the country after receiving threats from governmental death squads. He graduated from Brooklyn College in 1996 with a BA in anthropology. And since that time, he has returned to his native land and dedicated his life to defending human rights through his work as a forensic anthropologist. In Guatemala today, he leads teams that exhume the mass graves of victims of the country's 36-year civil war. During this process, he has developed a human identification system that combines forensic anthropology, archaeology, and genetics. In his important work, he has uncovered evidence that has helped countless families identify their missing loved ones and helped convict perpetrators of genocide and crimes against humanity. In recognition of a remarkable career in forensic anthropology and a profound commitment to human rights, Brooklyn College presents Mr. Freddie A. Pecciarelli with the Distinguished Alumnus Award.
It's truly an honor to be here today to accept the Distinguished Alumnus Award from Brooklyn College, especially because in 1996, I missed my commencement ceremony. Instead, I was back in Guatemala finding holes, thousands of holes that contained thousands of lost lives. These, however, were not just holes. They were hidden graves. You see, at the time, I decided to follow the advice of Professor Oschenschlager. He was one of my archaeology professors here at Brooklyn College. He always told me, Freddie, if you want to leave a mark in this world, dig a hole. I was like, dig a hole? He says, yes, Freddie. You see, the soil has taken millions of years to compact and to separate into layers. So if you dig a hole, no one can ever hide it. However, while I was trying to leave my own mark, I found that I found others' marks instead. In accepting this award, I must also recognize the tireless work of all the forensic anthropology team members. They're a team of dedicated, intrepid, investigating my greatest accomplishment. I felt I could do anything, but quickly learned it was only the beginning. But let me tell you my story and how improbable and unlikely my career has been. I come from a small country in Central America, Guatemala, but I grew up in New York. Wow, I thought I was the only one. All right. But I grew up here in New York. I left Guatemala when I was 9 in 1980. My parents took me from the terrible Civil War and brought me to the safety of the South Bronx. They took me from a terrible place and brought me here to New York, where I was immediately confronted with racism, drugs, gang violence, and a new language. Growing up in New York in the 1980s wasn't easy, but it provided me with the tools that would help me survive in post-war Guatemala. When I was 14, I found out that we were undocumented immigrants. I grew up with the pain of not being able to return to Guatemala to see my extended family and friends for many years. And I dealt with the pain by forgetting about Guatemala. Although we became permanent residents eventually, it was too painful to think of Guatemala till I was exactly where you are today. I decided at that time that I would reconnect with my country. Actually, after taking a Core 9 class, and they made me read a book about Guatemala. So my idea was that I would become the new Guatemalan Indiana Jones. Yes, my plan was to discover Mayan cities in the summers and live in the safety in New York the rest of the year. And so, my first adventure was to find the great Mesoamerican archaeologists and work under them. That's when it happened. It was the annual meeting of the American Anthropology Association in October of 1994, and I was on the search for my future. I went to all the archaeology presentations but felt nothing. I was bored and devastated. The idea of Indiana Jones was quickly fading away. So I went back to my hotel room, and after the first day of meetings, I looked at the program and discovered that the theme was human rights, which I unfortunately had never heard before, at least the term till then. Under that title was a presentation by Dr. Clyde Snow, forensic anthropologist. The name of his talk was Exhuming the Past from Guatemala to Kurdistan. So I circled the presentation, and the next morning I was in the first row. That morning, a very distinguished-looking older gentleman wearing cowboy boots, an Irish tweed jacket, and a fedora hat slowly walked out to the podium. He began to talk, and he projected his first slide. It was an image of a grave containing about 20 skeletons. Some were wearing typical Mayan dress, their hands were tied, and 4 young archaeologists were excavating the grave. That was it. I decided at that very moment that I was going to get involved somehow. It felt like I was struck by lightning. I had absolute clarity, at least for that moment. After the presentation, I approached Dr. Snow, and he decided to invite me to come to Guatemala, and so I did for a 2-week training course in 1995. After that, the FAFG hired me for 1 year, and now it's been 22 years, and I'm still there. I completely fell in love with the potential we all have to contribute to the search for justice and truth. Working with Mayan families who have suffered the most horrific crimes, I found myself wanting to do more. I began to understand the importance of empathy and service, but also learned that some wrongs cannot be fixed. I dedicated my life to searching truth and justice. I was fortunate enough to work under Dr. Snow for 20 years. And my advice to you today is, when you embark in your future, find a way to understand and serve others. Become agents of change. Search for truth and justice. Brooklyn College has prepared you. You have to trust your abilities and believe in yourself. I have no doubt that you will bring these values, the values of this great city and of this great borough and of this great school, with you in everything you do, and you will make a contribution to the global community. It won't be easy, but everyone here believes in you. Think long-term, visualize what you want to accomplish, embrace what's coming, and with all the exciting challenges it brings. Become an agent of change. You have already made us so proud. Now it's time for you to realize your potential. Discover empathy and service. Congratulations again on your wonderful achievement. Thank you all for inviting me back to being part of the Brooklyn College family. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that moving speech, Freddie. It's now my pleasure to introduce the valedictorian of this year's graduating class. Kevin Lamonte Jones will receive a bachelor's degree today in television and radio with a minor in Africana Studies. He is also graduating summa cum laude. Following graduation, Kevin plans to attend law school. Please join me in welcoming this year's valedictorian.
Thank you, President Anderson, Brooklyn College alumni, administration, faculty, staff, to our most distinguished guests, to our most supportive and loving families and friends. However, to you, the class of 2017, make some noise. Frederick Douglass noted that it is easier to build strong children than to repair broken men. But he didn't say that it was impossible. I started my academic journey in the late 80s when structural violence and systemic disenfranchisement for African Americans and its effects were not among popular social discourse. So after many years of self-discovery, enduring and overcoming many personal challenges, to include economic disadvantage, I arrived to Brooklyn College in fall of 2014. I promised myself I wasn't going to get emotional. I fought through my academic insecurities and tenaciously self-advocated to gain my seat, rightful seat, here in the academy. And you know, I realized that I am not confined to my history and that my perceived limitations were actually my defining strengths. All of my brokenness transformed into a beautiful, bright, new beginning. But I alone did not achieve the gravitational impossibility of pulling myself up by the straps of my very own boots. But I proudly proclaim that I am the product of a village experience. And I owe a great gratitude to my loving family, my 90-year-old grandmother over there. I gotta say thank you, television and radio department. Thank you, Nicole St. Clair, the Black and Latino Male Initiative. Thank you, sociology. Thank you, Dr. Kareem. Thank you, Larry Patterson. Thank you to everyone, the Honorable Justice Priscilla Hall. I thank you for lifting me from my socially designated nothing. Imbued with restorative cognition that I stand before you, something of realized dreams. Class of 2017, here we are, and our journey continues. But as we travel, we must do so with purpose and passion, mounted on a foundation of service. Purpose to be equiticians. We want to ensure that all are endowed with equitable opportunities that we have, that they can live out their greatest dreams. Have passion and compassion for the most marginalized and socially discarded of all races, religion, and gender identities. See, we must be the impetus to transform this world into something dynamic and empowering. I'm talking about a world where Trayvon Martins and Tamir Rice, Jordan Edwards, and United States Second Lieutenant Richard Collins III live long enough to fulfill their purpose too. And as I close, we must refocus our lens. We must perceive the world through a prism of empowerment and transformation. In the words of Dr. Cornel West, we must love the ones we lead and serve the ones we save. The world is waiting on you. And allow my biographical witness to provide you with the necessary hope, to provide you that we may navigate this world with purpose and passion, that we may repair all that's broken within this world and resurrect everything that's good within humanity. This is our call. Beyond our degrees, class of 2017, our journey continues. And let me leave you with this. If we do what we should do, we can make America truly live up and value where freedom, justice, and equality for all is truly reigning supreme. Thank you, and thank you.
Thank you, Kevin. That's going to be a hard act to follow, Bernie. I am delighted now to invite this year's honorary degree recipient and keynote speaker to come forward. The child of Polish and Russian immigrants, Senator Bernie Sanders was born and raised in Brooklyn, not far from our campus, and he attended Brooklyn College. I think we're all familiar with Senator Sanders' extensive and influential political career thereafter. But what you might not know is that Senator's grassroots activism began right here at Brooklyn College, literally activism about the grassroots. In May of 1960, the young Bernie penned a letter to the student newspaper, The Kingsman, in which he declared, "My purpose in writing is to protest the action of a school guard in ordering students off the campus grass." He explained, "As a student at Brooklyn College, I appreciate the natural beauty of our campus in the midst of a large and crowded city. Therefore, I can well understand the administration's feelings that the grass would be prettier if left untrampled. Although that reasoning is valid, I am not quite certain that the sight of students stretched out and reading on the grass might not add a type of beauty to the school that is more important than pretty grass." I love this letter. It reveals something special about the young public servant. He sees beauty in students reading, relaxing, and enjoying the sun. He sees beauty in the quiet oasis that a college campus can provide in an otherwise noisy city. He sees beauty in people taking time to read, to reflect, to engage with ideas. And he seeks to protect the opportunity for reflection and public discourse over the petty rules of bureaucrats. So I want each of you graduates to think back to a time on the East Quad on a beautiful sunny day when you stretched out and read under the majestic elms that frame that East Quad, and I want you to thank Bernie Sanders. Bernie Sanders has served as the mayor of Burlington, Vermont, a member of the United States House of Representatives, and a member of the United States Senate. He's a leading voice, as you know, on income inequality, global warming, immigrants' rights, renewable energy, campaign finance reform, universal health care, civil rights, and civil liberties. He continues to value the beauty of students over tidy lawns, and we are deeply grateful for it. Senator Bernie Sanders, by the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees of the City University of New York, I hereby confer upon you the honorary degree of Doctor of Humane Letters with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities which pertain thereto.
Thank you. You know, and I know, that these are tough times for our country, but I do want to say that standing up here and looking out at the beautiful people in front of me, I have enormous confidence in the future of our country. Let me begin by congratulating the graduating class of 2017. Today is an important day in your lives, something that I know you have worked very hard to achieve, and I want to wish all of you the very best of luck in your future endeavors. May I not be strangled. All right, I'll tell you what, that's it. See, not only do I think you have a right to read on the grass, I think speakers have a right not to have that stuff around their throats. But I do want, on behalf of my wife, Jane, and myself, to see and to pray that you all live healthy and happy lives, doing the work that you enjoy, surrounded in love by family and friends. And let me thank President Michelle Anderson, Nicole Haas, the Brooklyn College administration, faculty and staff, and all of you for inviting Jane and me back to Brooklyn, where we were both born and raised. And I am very honored by the honorary degree you have given me. I grew up in Flatbush, and like Senator Schumer, graduated from James Madison High School. My wife, Jane, was also raised in Flatbush and Bedford-Stuyvesant,
and graduated from St. Xavier's High School a few miles away from here. In 1959, as a first-generation student, college student, I attended Brooklyn College for a year which had a major impact on my life. After that year, I left for the University of Chicago, where I eventually graduated. My mom had died the previous year, and I felt it was time to leave the neighborhood and see what the rest of the world looked like. My childhood in Brooklyn was shaped by two profound realities. First, my mom, dad, and older brother, who graduated from Brooklyn College, lived in a 3.5-room, rent-controlled apartment. As with many of your families who don't have a lot of money, financial pressure caused friction and tension within our household. From those experiences of growing up without a lot of money, I have never forgotten that there are millions of people throughout this country who struggle to put food on the table, pay the electric bill, try to save for their kids' education or for retirement. People who, against great odds, are fighting today to live in dignity. The second reality that impacted my life was that my father left Poland at the age of 17 from a community which was not only very poor, but from a country where anti-Semitism, pogroms, and attacks on Jews were not uncommon. While my father emigrated to the United States and escaped Hitler and the Holocaust, many in his family did not. For them, racism, right-wing extremism, and ultra-nationalism were not political issues. They were issues of life and death, and some of them died horrific deaths. From that experience, what was indelibly stamped on my mind was the understanding that we must never allow demagogues to divide us up by race, by religion, by national origin, by gender, or sexual orientation. Black and white, Latino, Asian American, Native American, Christian, Jew, Muslim, and every religion, straight or gay, male or female, we must stand together. This country belongs to all of us. As the United States Senator from Vermont, let me give you a very brief overview of some of the serious crises we currently face, crises which do not often get the attention they deserve, just are not talked about. As a student at James Madison High School many years ago, I recall my social studies teacher talking about how there were small developing countries around the world that were oligarchic societies, places where the economic and political life of the nation were controlled by a handful of very wealthy people. It never occurred to me as a kid in Brooklyn that the United States of America, our great nation, could move in that direction, but that is precisely, in my view, what is happening today. Today in America, the top 0.1% owns almost as much wealth as the bottom 90%. 20 Americans now own as much wealth as the bottom half of America, and one family now owns as much wealth as the bottom 42% of our people. In the last 17 years, while the middle class continues to decline, we have seen a tenfold increase in the number of billionaires.
Today in America, CEOs are earning almost 300 times what the average worker makes. And in terms of income, while you and your parents are working in some cases 2 or 3 jobs, 52% of all new income generated today goes to the top 1%. Meanwhile, at the same time as we have more income and wealth inequality than any other nation, 43 million Americans live in poverty. Half of older workers have nothing in the bank as they approach retirement, and in some inner cities and rural communities, youth unemployment is 20, 30, 40%. Unbelievably, in our country today, as a result of hopelessness and despair, we are seeing a decline in life expectancy. People are giving up, and they're turning to drugs, to alcohol, and even to suicide. And because of poverty and racism, today in a broken criminal justice system, we have more people in jail than any other country on earth. And those people are disproportionately Black, Latino, and Native Americans. Directly related to the oligarchic community that we currently have is a corrupt political system which is undermining American democracy, and it's important we talk about that and understand that. As a result of the disastrous Citizens United Supreme Court decision, corporations and billionaires are able to spend unlimited sums of money on elections, and the result is today that a handful, a small number of billionaires are spending hundreds of millions of dollars every single year, often on ugly 30-second TV ads, helping to elect candidates who represent the wealthy and the powerful. And we are seeing the results of how oligarchy functions right now in Congress, where the Republican leadership wants to throw 23 million Americans off of health insurance, cut Medicaid by over $800 billion, defund Planned Parenthood, cut food stamps and other nutrition programs by over $200 billion, cut Head Start and after-school programs, and, by the way, make drastic cuts in Pell Grants and other programs that help working-class kids be able to go to college. And unbelievably, at exactly the same time as they are throwing people off of health care, making it harder for kids to go to college, they have the chutzpah to provide $300 billion in tax breaks to the top 1%. In other words, the very, very rich are getting richer, and they get tax breaks. The working class and the middle class are struggling, and they are seeing drastic cuts, life and death programs that could mean survival or not survival for those families. Now, in response to these very serious crises, it seems to me that we have two choices. First, we can throw up our hands in despair. We can say the system is rigged, I am not going to get involved, and that is understandable. But it is wrong, because the issues that we deal with today, the economic issues, the social issues, the racial issues, the environmental issues, not only impact your lives, they impact the lives of future generations, and you do not have the moral right to turn your back on saving this planet and saving future generations. The truth is that the only rational choice we have, the only real response we can make, is to stand up and fight back, reclaim American democracy, and create a government that works for all of us, not just the 1%. And for us to do that, it is necessary that we fight for a vision of a new America, an America based on progressive, humane values, not the values of the oligarchy. And what does that mean, briefly in concrete terms? It means that no, we are not going to throw 23 million Americans off the health care they have. We are going to bring about health care for all as a right, not a privilege. It means that no, we are not, as the current administration does, deny the reality of climate change. No, we are going to take on the fossil fuel industry, transform our energy system away from fossil fuel to energy efficiency and sustainable energy. It means, no, we're not going to cut Pell Grants and other student assistance. We are going to do what Germany, what Scandinavia, what countries all over the world do, and that is to make certain that public colleges and universities are tuition-free. And we're going to significantly lower student debt, because we believe that anyone in America who has the ability and the desire should be able to get a higher education regardless of his or her income. And no, we're not going to do as the Attorney General of the United States now wants. We're not going to put more people in jail. We're going to fix a broken criminal justice system and invest in education and jobs for our young people, not more jails or incarceration. No, we're not going to defund Planned Parenthood. We're going to vigorously defend a woman's right to choose. My friends, let me conclude by saying this. We live in the wealthiest country in the history of the world. We are seeing an exploding technology which, if used well, has extraordinary potential to improve life. We are an intelligent and hardworking people. If we are prepared to stand together, if we take on greed and selfishness, if we refuse to allow demagogues to divide us up, there is no end to what the great people of our nation can accomplish. So today, as you graduate Brooklyn College, my message to you is very simple. Think big, not small, and help us create the nation that we all know we can become. Thank you all very much.
Thank you so much, Senator Sanders, for your inspiring remarks today. Class, you've been patient. President Anderson, we will now proceed with the conferral of degrees to the class of 2017. the deans of the School of Business, the School of Education, the School of Humanities and Social Sciences, the School of Natural and Behavioral Sciences, and the School of Visual, Media, and Performing Arts will each announce the departments and programs in their respective schools. The candidates for each department and program will then stand together and be recognized with our applause. Once the candidates in all the schools have been called, President Anderson will officially confer on you the degrees for the class of 2017. We will begin with Dean Willie Hopkins to come forward and to present the candidates from the Murray Koppelman School of Business.
I am proud to present the candidates in the Murray Koppelman School of Business. Before I do so, I want to acknowledge Mr. Murray Koppelman, our benefactor. Murray? Mr. Murray Koppelman. Thank you, Murray. The Koppelman School of Business has the distinction of being the largest school in Brooklyn, and soon we're going to be the only accredited school in the borough of Brooklyn. You can bet on that. Now, what does that mean? What that distinction means for our students, it means recognition, jobs, yes, and success. At this time, I'm going to ask the candidates of each degree in the Koppelman School of Business to stand and be recognized and then take a seat. First of all, master's degrees in accounting. Please stand and be recognized. Congratulations. Please be seated. The master's degrees in business administration, management. Whoa, a lot of you guys. Congratulations. Please be seated. Master's degrees in economics. Wonderful, there they are. Congratulations. Please be seated. Now the baccalaureate degrees. Who's graduating in accounting? Oh, yes. Congratulations. Please be seated. I see you. The baccalaureate degrees in business management. Please stand. Woo! All right. Wonderful. Please be seated. Baccalaureate degrees in economics. There they are. Wonderful. Congratulations. Please be seated. And finally, the baccalaureate degrees in finance. All right. Make that money. Wonderful. Congratulations. Please be seated. Thank you.
It is now my pleasure to call Dean April Bedford to please come forward and present the candidates from the School of Education.
It's my pleasure to recognize our wonderful graduates from the School of Education. The School of Education works closely with the schools and social service agencies in Brooklyn to prepare teachers, school leaders, school counselors, and school psychologists. Over 80% of our graduates go on to work in schools and other settings in the borough of Brooklyn, and we are extremely proud to be so deeply rooted in our community. I would now like to ask the degree candidates in each department to rise and be recognized. First, master's degree in childhood, bilingual, and special education. Congratulations, and please be seated. Students receiving the master's degree in early childhood education and art education. Congratulations, please be seated. Master's degree in secondary education. Congratulations, please be seated. Advanced certificate in childhood, bilingual, and special education. Congratulations, please be seated. Advanced certificate in early childhood education and art education. Advanced Certificate in School Psychology, Counseling, and Leadership. Congratulations. Please be seated. Advanced Certificate in Secondary Education. And now for the baccalaureate degrees. Baccalaureate degree in Childhood, Bilingual, and Special Education. Congratulations. Baccalaureate degree in Early Childhood and Art Education. And the baccalaureate degree in Secondary Education. Congratulations to all of you.
Thank you, Dean Bedford. Now I'll ask Dean Richard Greenwald to please come forward and to present the candidates from the School of Humanities and Social Science.
The School of Humanities and Social Science graduates excellent writers, thinkers, and intellectuals who take their liberal arts education wherever they go. Our graduates find careers in many fields as well as top-rated graduate schools. I'd like to ask the degree candidates in each department and program to rise, be recognized, and then be seated. Will the master's degree candidates in English please rise? Be seated. Will the master's degree candidates in history please rise? Congratulations. The master's degree candidates in modern language and literature. Congratulations. Will the master's degree candidates in political science please rise? The master's degree candidates in sociology. Thank you. Will the master's degree candidates in speech, communication, arts, and sciences please rise? And now the baccalaureate degree graduates. Will the baccalaureate degree candidates in Africana Studies please rise? Congratulations. Baccalaureate degree candidates in American Studies. Congratulations. Will the baccalaureate degree candidates in Children and Youth Studies please rise? Congratulations. The baccalaureate degree candidates in Classics. The baccalaureate degree candidates in Communication. Congratulations. The baccalaureate degree candidates in English. Congratulations. The baccalaureate degree candidates in History. The baccalaureate degree candidates in Interdisciplinary Studies. Congratulations. The baccalaureate degree candidates in Judaic Studies. The baccalaureate degree candidates in Linguistics. The baccalaureate degree candidates in Modern Languages and Literatures. The baccalaureate degree candidates in Philosophy. The baccalaureate degree candidates in Political Science. baccalaureate degree candidates in Puerto Rican and Latino studies. The baccalaureate degree candidates in sociology. Congratulations. The baccalaureate degree candidates in speech, communication, arts, and sciences. The baccalaureate degree candidates in studies in religion. And the baccalaureate degree candidates in women's and gender studies. Thank you.
You know, sometimes in an event like this, we make a mistake and we forget someone. Our apologies. Will all the candidates to receive the master's degree in school psychology, school counseling, and leadership please rise and be recognized? Thank you, everyone, and thank you for your patience with that. Now, I would like to ask Dean Cleanthus Saris to please come forward and to present the candidates from the School of Natural and Behavioral Sciences.
I'm proud to present the graduates from the School of Natural and Behavioral Sciences. Our graduates are scientifically literate citizens prepared to contribute to a modern society and to pursue careers in areas demanding a high level of basic and applied scientific knowledge. I would like to ask the degree candidates in each department and program to rise and be recognized. Master degrees in biology. Please be seated. Master degrees in chemistry. Please be seated. Master degrees in computer and information science. Please be seated. Master degrees in earth and environmental sciences. Please be seated. Master degrees in health and nutrition science. Please be seated. Master degrees in kinesiology. Please be seated. Master degrees in physics. Please be seated. Master degrees in psychology. Please be seated. Baccalaureate degrees in anthropology and archaeology. Please be seated. Baccalaureate degrees in biology. Baccalaureate degrees in chemistry. Baccalaureate degrees in computer and information science. Baccalaureate degrees in earth and environmental science. Please be seated. Baccalaureate degrees in health and nutrition sciences. Baccalaureate degrees in kinesiology. Please be seated. Baccalaureate degrees in mathematics. Please be seated. Baccalaureate degrees in physics. Please be seated. baccalaureate degrees in psychology. Please be seated. Baccalaureate degrees in urban sustainability. Please be seated. Congratulations to all of you.
Thank you, Dean Saris. And now our last school, the School of Visual, Media, and Performing Arts. Will Dean Kennelly please come forward?
I think we saved the best for last. The arts inspire, they challenge and engage us. Most importantly, the arts are powerful change agents. At the School of Visual, Media, and Performing Arts, our graduates will use their talents and education to be a creative presence in society, leaders in their field, and alumni who are a proud reflection of our mission. I'd like to ask the degree candidates in each department to rise and be recognized. Master's degree in art. Congratulations. Master's degree in the Fierstein Graduate School of Cinema. Our first. Master's degree in the Conservatory of Music. Yay. Congratulations. Master's degree in Performance and Interactive Media Arts. Yay, Pima. Master's degree in Television and Radio. Yay! Okay, be seated. Master's degree in theater. Yay, congratulations. Okay. Advanced certificate in art. Congratulations. Advanced certificate in the Conservatory of Music. Congratulations. And now for the baccalaureate degree. The baccalaureate degree in art. Congratulations. The baccalaureate degree in film. Congratulations. Okay, be seated. The baccalaureate degree in the Conservatory of Music. Congratulations. The baccalaureate degree in Television and Radio. Okay. Congratulations. And the baccalaureate degree in Theater. Congratulations to you all.
Established in 1971, the CUNY Baccalaureate for Unique and Interdisciplinary Studies provides students with a flexible, academically challenging way to earn their degree while giving a large share of responsibility for the content of those degrees. I would like to ask the degree candidates from the CUNY Baccalaureate for Unique and Interdisciplinary Studies to please rise and be recognized. Now, to all the graduates, would you all please rise? President Anderson, I have the pleasure and the privilege to present to you the Brooklyn College class of 2017.
Students in the Brooklyn College class of 2017, by the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees of the City University of New York, I hereby confer upon you your respective degrees with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities which pertain thereto. It is now time to take your tassel and move it from the right to the left, thereby signifying your acquisition of this degree. Graduates, as the confetti comes raining down, I urge you to be a force for good in the world. Use everything you have learned at Brooklyn College to serve others. On behalf of the faculty and staff and alums of Brooklyn College, I want to say we are deeply proud of you. Congratulations.
Graduates, I ask you once more to please be seated until the platform party and the faculty have exited the arena. Then you will exit the arena in the same way you entered. Family and friends, please greet your graduates, gotta move the confetti, outside in front of the Barclays Center. Once again, thank you for your cooperation and congratulations to the Brooklyn College class of 2017.